Number 10. Justin and Fergie. A relationship that many fans believe was super weird was that between Justin Timberlake and Fergie back in 1998. Fergie has revealed in the past that the couple met because one of her friends was dating one of Justin's NSYNC band members. Because of this, she found herself hanging out with them a little bit more. When discussing their relationship later, she said, "Justin and I would go out together, have fun, and make out. We went to Hawaii together, but we were never serious. He was Mr. Right Now." But after a decade, she had some different things to say about the brief fling. When on the show Watch What Happens Live, when asked about Justin, she responded by saying, "It wasn't all that serious. Am I allowed to pass on this?" Maybe she didn't want to get into it because of the pretty strange age gap the two had at the time. The Australian Mail reported that Fergie admitted to how old she really was when the two first got together. She said at the time, "He was 16 and I was 23. It was before he got really heavy with Britney." Definitely pretty weird. Number 9, we have Sarah and Holland. Sarah Paulson and Holland Taylor have been together for quite some time, but their relationship still has the ability to shock fans. The couple first met at a party in 2005, but it wasn't until nearly a decade later that they would reconnect over social media and then start officially dating. Holland first really hinted at the relationship during a podcast appearance where she revealed she was in a very committed relationship with a woman much younger than her. She said at the time, "It's the most wonderful, extraordinary thing that could ever possibly happen in my life." The two ended up confirming their relationship just a month after the interview, and it sparked some mixed opinions. Fans were shocked by the couple's 32-year age gap, leaving Sarah and Holland to deal with quite a few critics. During an interview with the New York Times, she was asked why people were so confused about her relationship and the age difference. Sarah responded by revealing that it is something to do with the unwillingness to confront mortality. She said, "Our own ageist thinking and the idea that to be old is to cease to have desire." She added at the time saying, "Anybody says anything about the person I love in a way that's disrespectful or cruel, and I want to cut a B." Sarah has also commented on this during another interview with the New York Times in 2016, saying, "My choices in romantic partners have not been conventional, and the idea that it's other makes it compelling." She continued by saying, "What I can say absolutely is that I am in love with the person, and that happens to be Holland Taylor." Number 8, Pete and Kim. Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian dated for about 9 months before breaking up, and had many fans pretty surprised that they got together at all in the first place. The two were first brought together during her time hosting SNL back in 2021, and even played a scene together as Jasmine and Aladdin where they kissed. Kim later talked about this moment during an appearance on a podcast and said, "When we kissed, I was like, it was a stage kiss, but it was like a little zing." When the relationship was confirmed, it seemed to all be going pretty well, and then an insider shared, "Kim loves his spark. He is very funny, entertaining, and makes Kim happy. He showers her with compliments, and she loves it." Kim even gushed at the time how much she wanted to share her relationship online, saying on The Ellen Show, "I have the cutest pictures of us, and I want to be like, oh my god, we're so cute. But then I'm like, I don't want to be desperate. Don't want to be posting too much, just give a glimpse." But unfortunately, with schedule conflicts and a few other issues, it didn't seem to work out. An insider revealed things got heated up pretty quickly in the beginning when he would travel back and forth to see Kim and spend time with her, but his schedule has gotten so packed. They also added saying, "Pete is still super bummed about the breakup. They really hit it off and had a ton of fun together, but it feels like it ran its course." But some of Kim's fans believed that this was definitely for the best after noticing some really big red flags in their relationship. Pete was dubbed as a weirdo after getting KNSCP tattooed on his neck for Kim and her 4 kids. One fan wrote, "Branding your girl of a few months' name on your body is weirdo behavior." Another added, "These are children, creepy beyond belief." Number 7, Macaulay Culkin and Mila Kunis. Before there was Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, there was Macaulay Culkin. How do you say his name? Before there was Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, there was Mila and Macaulay. A relationship that was a strange pairing for some fans ended up lasting 8 years before their split in 2011. At the time of the breakup, a close insider said the split was amicable and they remained close friends. But after a few years, it was later revealed that the relationship wasn't as drama-free as many would like to believe. Mila admitted during an interview how bad it really was and said, "I had a horrible breakup. I effed up and I was an a-hole in my 20s, and I'll be the first to admit it." Mila went on to explain in an interview with Howard Stern what it was like to date someone that was really at the peak of their career. She described fan reactions to seeing her then boyfriend as abnormal. She explained, "He was huge. You couldn't walk down the street with him. He always had this weird attraction. Like fans would scream when they saw him." A close source to the star said, "They have a deep love love that Mila will always recognize as something special. She ended it badly, they haven't talked for years, but she isn't going to reach out to him now. The source continued by saying they have moved on, started families, and she can take comfort that he is in a good place. Number 6. Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet. The one that is really making headlines everywhere, with fans believing that Timothy and Kylie are from different universes. But whether you want to believe it or not, it looks like these two really are dating, according to multiple sources. An insider reveals they are keeping things casual at this point. It's not that serious. But Kylie is enjoying hanging out with Timothy and seeing where things go. They continued by sharing, "It's really been fun for her because it feels a lot different from her past relationships. It's new and exciting for Kylie and she's having a lot of fun." Fans were expecting to see a hard launch of the couple during Coachella weekend, but it just didn't seem to come. A source close to the star explained, "Kylie decided she didn't want to make things public with Timothy this past weekend at Coachella and really just wanted to chill and have fun with her friends." But fans weren't too excited about this news and instead just seemed confused. Many took to Instagram to share their opinions on the rumored new couple. One Twitter user wrote, "Timothy, this is not you. You're better than this, king." Another added by saying, "When the nerd dates the popular girl." What do you guys think about this unlikely couple? Let us know in the comments below. Number 5, we have Kendall and Bad Bunny. The Kardashian-Jenner family really keeps fans guessing with their partners lately, and Kendall is no exception. She was first spotted with Bad Bunny in February, and they have been spotted together a few times since. A source told the press that the two were just spending some time together. Even more recently, Kendall was seen supporting the star at Coachella, dancing in the crowd during his set. Unfortunately for Kendall though, she was spotted by multiple fans who filmed her dancing in now very viral clips on TikTok. One user wrote, referring to Bad Bunny's ex Gabriella, "No way she's dancing like that. Girl, bye, no way he's with that. Gabriella needs to come back." Another added, "Please, how are you his girlfriend and you can't even keep up with his music?" A few other Bad Bunny fans have made videos asking for Gabriella to come get her man, believing this could all just be a marketing scheme. Number 4, we have Madonna and Michael. A weird hookup to fans at the time was between Michael Jackson and Madonna. Madonna has admitted in the past to being a fan of Michael from a very early age. She revealed back in 2009, "I was madly in love with him, totally smitten. He was mind-bogglingly talented." She shared that she was able to finally meet him when he performed at the Madison Square Garden, saying, "There's a party at the Helmsley Palace Hotel. He was very shy, but it was a thrill for me." She reportedly had a very strong artistic attraction and wanted to work together and began hanging out semi-regularly. She recalled this time in her life during a 2009 interview with Rolling Stone and said, "He got relaxed, he took his glasses off, had a glass of wine, and I got him to laugh." They really were hitting it off, and the two ended up being each other's date to the Academy Awards. But the two really seemed to clash not too long after, allegedly due to Madonna not wanting to go to Michael's favorite place, Disneyland. He ended up saying some pretty harsh things about the star after and their time together. When speaking about Madonna, Michael said, "She is not a nice person. Madonna laid down the law to me before we went out. She would say we're going to the restaurant and afterwards we're going to the strip club." Even with the seemingly bad end, Madonna is still known to come to Michael's defense. While discussing the documentary Leaving Neverland about Michael and some pretty bad accusations, Madonna shared, "I don't have mob mentality, so in my mind, people are innocent until proven guilty." Number 3, we have Kim and Nick. Maybe in a different universe, it could have been Kim having 12 children with Nick Cannon. A relationship that some have been calling Hollywood folklore is really that of Kim and Nick. The two ended up hitting it off, and Nick even helped Kim land her first magazine cover on Complex. In 2007, when Kim was asked about her rumored relationship with Nick, she responded by saying, "I'm not going to get back to you on that one," explaining that she and her best friend Paris Hilton were trying to stay single for a year. She went on to say, "I was in a long relationship before I was married. I've never been single, this is my year." It's hard when you meet really cool, talented, amazing people like Nick though. However, the general thought is that the two were together sometime in 2006 to 2007. According to Nick, the reason for the eventual split was the release of Kim's tape and her dishonesty about the tape in general. He told Howard Stern in 2012, "We talked about this tape and she told me there was no tape." But even more recently, Nick has shared his feelings on their brief fling, admitting that Kim was the one who broke his heart. He said during a podcast appearance, "We were kids, we were young, I was really vibing, and she's an amazing person. Long story short, we were getting pretty serious back then and I was hanging out with the family." Number 2, we have Tyga and Avril. A couple that not many saw coming is Tyga and Avril Lavigne. At the end of February, Avril seemed seemingly called off her engagement with Maud's son, but that was reportedly a surprise to him. Maud's son's representative said at the time they were together and engaged as of 3 days ago when Maud left for tour, so if anything changed, that's news to him. Just a couple days before this statement went out, photos and clips began emerging of Tyga and Avril, seen leaving the restaurant Nobu together in LA. Another insider tried to do some damage control, assuring fans that Tyga had nothing to do with calling off the wedding. They said Avril and Tyga are genuinely friends and nothing more. There was absolutely no third party involved in the split. But the truth behind that seemed pretty questionable after they were seen getting pretty close. Just over a week later, Maud revealed how heartbroken he was feeling and wrote on Instagram, "In 1 week my entire life completely changed. I just know there's a plan for it all, and I'll keep my head up and always listen to my heart even if it feels broken." But as shocking as this was for her fans, it looks like Avril and Tyga are pretty happy together. A source tells people they're very much into each other. They're still not exclusive and just getting to know each other. They're taking things very slowly to be on the safe side. And at number 1 we have Elon Musk and Grimes. Named the most unpredictable couple by many is Elon Musk and Grimes. According to Vanity Fair, the two first met in 2018 when Elon slid into her DMs, and not long after they ended up attending the Met Gala together the same year. Azalea Banks shared with the media how terrible it was to be around them at the time in an awkward third wheel encounter. She said, "I waited around all weekend while Grimes coddled her boyfriend," even going as far as to compare staying at Elon Musk's house to the movie Get Out. Reportedly due to some issues, the two ended up splitting up and unfollowing each other on Twitter, but it didn't last long. They ended up being spotted again just a few months later. The couple ended up having a son together in 2020, but reportedly the relationship has had its ups and downs throughout the years. A source explained Elon and Grimes have experienced a lot of ups and downs in their relationship throughout Grimes' pregnancy and have been on and off. Through it all, they have and will continue to maintain a close friendship. In the end, it didn't really seem to work out for these two, but they have confirmed that they're on good terms and will continue to co-parent.
Number 10. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. Back in July, the couple tied the knot in Las Vegas. Fans know that Ben and Jen have had an off-again, on-again romance that's been going on since the 2000s. Despite planning to marry in 2003, they ended up calling it off just days before the wedding and said that the excessive media attention had taken a toll on their romance. Then, almost 20 years later, they got back together, so it seems like they were meant to be together. But of course, not everyone thinks so. Ever since Ben's miserable appearance at this year's Grammys, the couple have been seen arguing in public many times. In a clip that quickly went viral on TikTok, they were at a movie premiere together when they got into another argument. JLo appears to taste Ben's drink and then looks at him sternly. She seems visibly fed up with him while he tries to defend himself and repeatedly says Jen. He could also be heard yelling over the music, saying that he did not drink anything. It's because of these moments that fans just don't think that they are a good match. Fans were especially outraged with Ben in 2021. The comments he said about his ex-wife Jennifer Garner on the Howard Stern show. He said he felt trapped during his marriage, and that was a part of the reason why he started drinking. When you look at his choice of words, it's easy to see why people thought he was attacking his ex. Number 9. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. These two were one of the most hated couples in the almost 7 years that they were together. They took their relationship public in the spring of 2012, and after that it was mayhem. While they were together, Kim and Kanye had more than their fair share of cringy couple moments. Everyone remembers the music video for Bound 2 because it left a lot of people feeling uncomfortable. During the video, Kanye rides a motorcycle through the desert and he's joined by Kim, who is completely naked. And in every single shot, they're either kissing or caressing each other, which is nearly impossible to watch without cringing. While the relationship was messy, their divorce was even messier. When Kim moved on with Pete Davidson, Kanye was extremely threatened. One of the things he did to mess with Pete was he posted a photo of a fake New York Times cover on Instagram with the headline reading, "Skeet Davidson is dead at 28. Then he made a social media post saying, "Hold your spouse close to make sure they know how much you love and appreciate them, because there is a Skeet lurking in every dirty alleyway waiting to help destroy your family and walk around in Calvin jeans around your children." So after the divorce, it seemed like Kanye was set out to ruin Kim's love life. Number 8. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. The couple often paint their love story as one for the ages, but they have definitely tried to gloss over the fact that their relationship began when Will was still technically married to his first wife, Cherie Zampino. In fact, Jada let this information slip voluntarily in a 2018 interview with Access, admitting that when Will first reached out to her, he wasn't exactly fully free to do so. The couple has since maintained that they weren't physically involved until the divorce was finalized, but many fans believe that Will's heart had certainly strayed well before he made any move to end things with Cherie. Ironically, that wasn't the only instance of cheating that reflected poorly on the couple. In July of 2020, August Alsina shocked the world when he revealed that he was romantically involved with Jada and Will knew about it the whole time. At first, Jada denied the claims, but she eventually confessed to being in an entanglement with August when she and her husband were separated. At that moment, the two of them decided to go to the Red Table Talk together and aired out all of their dirty laundry. In a heartbreaking episode, Will broke down in tears in front of his wife while she confessed to the affair. That video forever changed the way that fans viewed their relationship. Number 7. Scott Disick and Sofia Richie. Fans used to love Scott's quick-witted, snarky humor. He was something of a fan favorite on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Of course, it was partly because of his relationship to Kourtney that he became so popular in the first place. But throughout the show, it became blaringly obvious that he had trouble remaining committed to her. So when he left her for Sofia Richie, fans turned against him for good. Not only was she only 18 years old, but she'd also been a friend of the Kardashians for years. So naturally, the whole family was against them too, including Kendall, who left a shady comment on one of Scott's Instagram posts. Even Sophia's dad, Lionel Richie, was not too happy with the 16-year age difference. At one point, he said, "She's 19. When you're 19, you know everything. Is it going to be for life? I don't know. But for right now, it's just a phase." Despite the backlash, they stayed together for nearly 3 years, and Sophia even went on the show at one point. It was an awkward mess because Scott was still co-parenting his 3 kids with Kourtney, and she was obviously not too happy with this new relationship. If anything, most people felt bad for her because she had to deal with so much after their separation. Number 6. Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson. This couple was never very popular with fans, and there was quite a few reasons for that, but the controversy surrounding their relationship came to a head in 2018 when photos of Tristan having an affair surfaced online while he was dating Khloe. To make matters worse, she was 9 months pregnant at the time. Not long after, TMZ came out with video footage dating back to October of 2017 that showed the NBA player kissing 2 other random women at a club. At first, they decided to stay together for the birth of their child, but things did not stay smooth forever. In 2019, reports surfaced that Tristan had cheated on her once again, this time with none other than Jordyn Woods, who was a close friend of the family and Kylie Jenner's best friend and roommate. Anonymous party attendees told TMZ that the two of them were all over each other and made out several times throughout the night. The explosive incident almost broke up the family entirely, and as a result, multiple relationships were ruined. Although Khloe was the victim in the situation, not everyone felt sorry for her. Some believe that she was the one who took Tristan Thompson away from his ex-girlfriend Jordan Craig, who was also pregnant at the time. So sometimes how you get them is how you lose them. Number 5. John Legend and Chrissy Teigen. These two seem to have a romance for the ages, and their relationship has really stood the test of time. But the couple lost quite a lot of fans in the wake of Chrissy's infamous bullying scandal. In recent years, many celebrities have come forward to accuse her of being extremely cruel online. These include stars like Courtney Stodden, Lindsay Lohan, Farrah Abraham, and Project Runway star Michael Costello. Her behavior was apparently so horrible that at one point, she allegedly told Courtney to take her own life in 2011, and Chrissy only backpedaled on her comments when she was called out for them, so she seemed to be a true mean girl. While speaking out about the incident, Chrissy claimed that she was being an insecure, attention-seeking troll. But later, evidence came out that she had also bullied little children. When talking about a 9-year-old, she said in a 2013 tweet, quote, "Is it okay to call a small child cocky?" Around the same time, a shocking video resurfaced from when she was hosting the Billboard Music Awards in May of 2015. In this clip, you can see Chrissy making her way to the stage when a woman trips over her gown and falls in front of her. Instead of stopping to help the woman up or even check to see if she was okay, Chrissy just keeps walking up to the stage. Number 4. Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott. These two have never been the most popular couple, but it seemed like everyone had an opinion about their relationship when Travis was exposed for cheating. Up until a certain point, it was only speculation, but his alleged ex, Instagram model Regine Carr, came forward. She shared proof of herself on the same set as Travis Travis on her Instagram stories recently. These accusations would have probably flown under the radar if Travis had not spoken up and made the whole thing so much worse. He tried to defend himself and said, "An uninvited person was sneaking photos on what was supposed to be a closed set while I was directing a video. I don't know this person, I've never been with this person." In response, Regine fired back and said, "What we're not gonna do is we're not gonna lie. I pretended I didn't know you, went along with whatever effing narrative, no matter how much BS I got from it. But to say you don't know me and you've never been with me, when you've definitely been with me, when everyone's seen you with me, when I have pictures and videos of you with me." She went on to claim that Travis cheats on Kylie every single night and the whole city sees it happening. At that point, there was almost no point in him trying to deny it because most people believed what she was saying. Number 3, Sandra Bullock and Jesse James. These two married in 2005, and throughout the first few years of their marriage, they looked happier than ever as they attended red carpets together. On the outside, Jesse seemed supportive of his successful wife, especially when she won countless awards thanks to her incredible talents as an actress. But it was soon uncovered that he had been cheating on Sandra for a long time with multiple women, which led him to become, by his own admission, the most hated man in the world. He eventually checked into rehab for sex addiction, and Sandra filed for divorce in 2010. Jesse took accountability for his actions at the time and released a statement saying, "There is only one person to blame for this whole situation, and that is me. It's because of my poor judgment that I deserve everything bad that is coming my way." But in an interview 7 years later, he said that he had no regrets about the affair and said, "Yeah, I did cheat on my wife. Yeah, I stood up and took accountability for it and apologized." And that's the end of the story. In general, both women and men cheat, it's part of life. So obviously it seemed like he didn't completely acknowledge his role in the downfall of their marriage and had no real shame or guilt about his deplorable actions. Number 2, King Charles and Queen Camilla. Britain's new reigning monarch and queen consort have gone to great efforts to repair their public image over the past couple of years. For the most part, they have been successful, but they're still leagues away from being the most popular royal couple, and that's for a very good reason. Back in the 90s, they were embroiled in one of the biggest scandals to rock the royal family. Charles was infamously caught cheating on the beloved Princess Diana, and his years-long affair with Camilla was exposed for the world to see. A transcript of their salacious phone call was leaked to the press, and it made the headlines for weeks. For the royal family, it was the ultimate embarrassment. Their conversation was essentially phone sex. At one point, Charles told Camilla, "Oh God, I'll just live inside your trousers or something. It would be much easier." To which Camilla says, "What are you going to do, turn into a pair of knickers?" And he says, "Or God forbid, a Tampax." Unsurprisingly, the fallout from this conversation destroyed not one but 2 marriages. It broke up Camilla's 20-year marriage to Andrew Parker Bowles and publicly humiliated her husband and children. It also played a major role in Charles and Diana's divorce, which would come only a few years later. And coming in at number 1, Courtney Love and Kurt Cobain. This infamous couple was the very definition of a bad romance. The destructive nature of their relationship was played out in the tabloids for years. Even major publications couldn't resist writing about their exploits. The timeline of their romance was incredibly fast. They got married in 1992 after only 4 months of dating. By that point, Courtney was already pregnant with their daughter, Frances Bean. What's really interesting is that on paper, these two artists were very similar. They were both grunge music icons who dabbled in hard partying and substance use. But the public had an extremely different perception of both of them. Even in their early days, Kurt was labeled a hero and a rock icon, while Courtney was vilified. She was dubbed an addict, a terrible mother, and almost constantly poorly behaved public figure. That's part of the reason why Nirvana fans hated them together. They viewed her as both opportunistic and out of control. And this sentiment only got worse when Kurt took his own life in 1994. Whether or not you agree with this characterization, Courtney has always been a force of nature, and consequently a divisive figure in pop culture. Since carving out her career as a grunge musician with a cult following, she's persisted as a party girl icon for the better part of nearly 3 decades. Number 10, Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde. These guys were arguably one of the most unpopular celebrity couples in recent times. They met on the set of the movie Don't Worry Darling, which Olivia directed. Harry joined the cast in the fall of 2020, and by January of 2021, the two of them were spotted holding hands at a wedding, which naturally caused everyone to lose their minds. Some say that the reason they split up was simply down to scheduling conflicts and the fact that they didn't want to have a long-distance relationship. But realistically, Olivia was getting a lot of hate from Harry's fans. They didn't like the fact that she was 10 years older than him and had 2 kids. People also thought it was a little problematic that they met while she was a director and he was an actor, because that means there could have been some kind of a power imbalance. Some people also pointed to the fact that she moved on way too quickly after breaking up up with her ex-fiance and the father of her children, Jason Sudeikis. It was later alleged that she cheated on Jason with Harry, although this is a narrative that she's had to continually deny. While they were together, almost everything about their relationship was scrutinized. For instance, when Olivia and Harry turned up to the Venice Film Festival separately for the premiere of Don't Worry Darling, fans took it as a sign that they were no longer together, and they started celebrating their breakup months before it actually happened. Number 9. Megan Fox and MGK. The couple first met in March of 2020 while they were in Puerto Rico on the set of the film Midnight in the Switchgrass. Almost right away, they became known for their over-the-top PDA and also their cringy Instagram posts. In fact, their social media presence as a couple is so intense that people have said that they give off high school band kids after 1 week of dating vibes. Megan sent the internet into a collective frenzy during the 2021 MTV Video Music Awards while she was presenting alongside Kourtney Kardashian. Both women introduced their respective boyfriends, Machine Gun Kelly and Travis Barker, ahead of their performance. Megan said, "I'm a huge fan of this next performer. I've watched him grow not just as an artist but as a person. New York, I need you to get extra loud for our future baby daddies." Throughout the evening, she constantly referred to him as daddy, and it just got a little too much for people. Then in a recent interview with Glamour, Megan confirmed that the two of them drink each other's blood. She said, "It's just a few drops, but yes, we do consume each other's blood on occasion for ritual purposes only." The response to this interview was hilarious because it was just so ridiculous, but these two definitely suited each other very well. Number 8. Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian. Fans were beyond shocked when these two were seen holding hands on a roller coaster in October of 2021. They met on the set of Saturday Night Live. Kim later said that she felt a spark when they shared a kiss during their Aladdin comedy sketch, but people really began cringing at their relationship when she started spilling a little too many details of their sex life. She confirmed that he does in fact have big D energy, and that made everyone a little uncomfortable. Then there were also the tattoos. Fans thought it was a huge red flag that Pete got tattoos of Kim and all of her 4 children. Now that they've broken up, it seems like it was a poorly thought out permanent decision. One of the tattoos said, "My girl is a lawyer," which he got to celebrate her passing the baby bar. He also got the names Aladdin and Jasmine with an infinity symbol between them, which is a reference to their first kiss. But one of the biggest complications of their relationship was her ex Kanye West. For some reason, he made it his mission to make Pete's life a living hell, and at that point literally everyone felt so bad for him. Number 7. Billie Eilish and Jesse Rutherford. When it was announced that these two became an item in mid-October, fans were shocked to say the least. The couple were spotted holding hands at a Halloween horror night. Days later, they were photographed publicly making out outside a popular restaurant in LA. Concerns were raised almost immediately around their age difference. If you didn't know, Billie is 20 years old while Jesse is 31. This got worse when photos were leaked of the couple costume they decided to wear for Halloween. Billie decided to dress up as a baby and Jesse went as an old man. They were probably just poking fun at their age difference, but no one else was in on the joke. It just made a lot of people feel icky about the whole thing. Fans did a bit more digging and realized that Billie and Jesse have known each other since 2017, back when she was 15 and still on the rise as a musician, which means that she was most likely a fan of his band The Neighborhood and was just excited to meet him. The discourse around their relationship calls into question the idea of what's appropriate and what's not when we're talking about age gaps. To this day, some people still think that it's wrong that they're together, while others say it's completely fine because, hey, they're both adults. Number 6. Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz. These two started dating in October of 2019, and they became Instagram official in January of 2020. They got very serious very fast and got engaged less than a year into their romance. These two seem to be just another young, stylish Hollywood couple, but for some reason, the internet has not stopped dragging everything they do. Brooklyn has about 20 tattoos dedicated to his wife, and when he revealed his new one on the Jennifer Hudson show, it almost seemed like a bad joke. He rolled up his sleeve and revealed that he got a massive portrait of her on his upper arm. It was literally her full face, but there was something very off about it. The sketch looked like it had been done by an amateur artist, which is very concerning because it's just such a big tattoo. There's also a ton of other reasons why people don't like them, but a lot of it comes down to the fact that they just think they don't have any personality, despite the fact that they're so famous. But this is probably because they both have famous parents, and they haven't really been able to branch out from that on their own. There's nothing really wrong with that, of course, but some people think that they're just way too boring to make the headlines. Number 5. Justin and Hailey Bieber. The two of them first met way back in 2009 when Hailey was introduced to Justin by her father Stephen Baldwin. They would eventually end up getting married several years later, but there's a ton of reasons why fans were never happy with this pairing. Throughout the 2010s, Justin had been in an off-again, on-again relationship with Selena Gomez, and they were one of the most famous A-list couples in the world. Fans were obsessed with them together, and it really seemed like a storybook teen romance. So when Hailey eventually came into the picture, picture, no one was happy about it. She got engaged to Justin in June of 2018, around 1 month after he'd broken things off with Selena. This timeline didn't sit right with a lot of people, and for years there were rumors circulating that there was infidelity involved. This hate against Hailey Bieber only got worse as the years went on. Some people have even floated the theory that her parents tricked Justin into marrying her. This sounds extremely unlikely, but it didn't help that he admitted something similar when he was on the Ellen DeGeneres show in 2020. Obviously he was joking, but not everyone thought that. Number 4, John Mulaney and Olivia Munn. These two first met a decade ago at a wedding in 2013. At the time when John and Olivia met, he was engaged to his eventual wife of 7 years, Anna Marie Tendler. John and Olivia began dating in June of 2021, only 1 month after he split from his wife. News of the split came as a shock to fans because no one saw it coming. John would often mention his wife in his stand-up comedy routines, and she was a character that his fans came to know and love. As the news broke, she released a statement saying, "I am heartbroken that John has decided to end our marriage. I wish him support and success as he continues his recovery." Less than 2 months later, it was confirmed that Olivia was pregnant with her and John's first child. Whether or not there was any overlap between the two women is still uncertain, but his relationship with Olivia has always been heavily criticized for that reason. In early September, Anna reportedly knew he was doing things with other women way before he went to rehab and before they ended their marriage in late 2020. It wasn't entirely clear when this relationship with Olivia started, but it appeared that John was going to great lengths to dispute the idea that he cheated. Number 3, Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes. They started out as friends in 2015 when they were both on tour together and wrote their first duet. Since then, they've both written music about each other on their albums and evolved from best friends to romantic partners. Then after dating for more than 2 years, they called it quits in November of 2021. They apparently split due to their hectic work schedules. It has also been said that they grew very close during lockdown, but once they resumed their normal work routine, their relationship became different. Their careers were taking them in different directions. Apparently they went from spending every single day together to not spending any time together at all. The pop stars revealed that they had broken up with a joint statement they shared on their Instagram pages. They said, "Hey guys, we've decided to end our romantic relationship, but our love for one another as humans is stronger than ever." Of course, some fans were pretty happy with the news, because when they first got together, there was a lot of speculation that it was just a PR relationship. This was partly due to the excessive PDA that they used to show. Their relationship received a lot of hate, and usually it was directed towards the woman. Camila was not very popular with Shawn's fans, and unfortunately, she was never able to win them over. Number 2, Aaron Taylor Johnson and Sam Taylor Johnson. These days, more and more people are focusing on their relationship and pointing out all the ways that it's seriously problematic. In 2009, Sam announced her engagement to Aaron, who's 23 years younger than her. According to the Daily Mail, the two met on the set of Nowhere Boy, where Sam was the director. When talking about the age gap, the actor told Men's Health in a 2014 interview that she's such a young, beautiful soul that you wouldn't even know. The only thing that had fans slightly concerned is the timeline of when they met. The Hollywood Reporter said that he was 18 and she was 41 at the time. Fans have speculated that she knew the actor when he was younger because he was a family friend, but these claims appear to be baseless. Aaron said, "When I first met Sam, I'd already lived a life far beyond that of most of my contemporaries. I didn't relate to anyone my age. I just felt like we're on the same wavelength." For her part, Sam said, "We had this intense connection. He was very intense and absolutely mind made up." Still, there's no denying that he was a literal teenager when they first started dating. So no matter which way you look at it, it's just kinda creepy. And coming in at number 1, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. These guys are easily one of the most hated couples right now. They first met in London in the summer of 2016 after they were set up by a mutual friend. They got married in May of 2018, and then only 2 years later in 2020, they announced on Instagram their decision to step back as senior members of the British royal family. This news sent shockwaves around the world and greatly impacted the public's opinion of the couple. Of course, a lot of the blame was placed on Meghan, who was accused of tearing Harry away from his family. Since their exit, they have taken part in a series of media projects which seem to target the monarchy. They got a ton of criticism after the release of their Netflix series, and a lot of it comes down to the apparent hypocrisy surrounding their decision to leave the royal family in pursuit of a reclusive life away from it all. The series again pushes the idea of excessive media intrusion into their lives, with multiple clips of the couple being pursued by crowds of paparazzi. And so people felt that the added publicity and attention they're getting from the documentary was completely at odds with their reason for leaving the UK and abandoning their royal duties. In fact, they've received so much backlash for this that they had to release a statement claiming that they never actually wanted privacy in the first place.
Starting off at number 10, Leonardo DiCaprio and Camila Morrone. So if you watched the most recent Golden Globes, you saw Ricky Gervais savagely call out Leo for exclusively dating girls that are way too young for him. It's such a hot topic that someone actually made a graph calling out the fact that all of the girls that he dates stayed the same age over the years, well, he just keeps getting older. And of course, they're obviously always a lot younger than him. He is currently dating actress Camila Morrone, who is 22, while Leo is 44. Recently, Camila actually came out to speak on the relationship after she noticed Leo being heavily criticized online. She spoke how she doesn't understand the criticism of the couple's 23-year age gap, saying, "There's so many relationships in Hollywood and in the history of the world where people have large age gaps. I just think anyone should be able to date who they want to date." She also spoke on always being in Leo's shadow, saying, "Now that people are seeing the film, I'm slowly getting an identity outside of that, which is frustrating because I feel like there should always be an identity besides who you're dating. I understand the association, but I'm confident that will continue to slip away and be less of a conversation." The couple was first linked together in January 2018 during a trip to Aspen, Colorado. Ever since then, Leo and Camila have been photographed together numerous times. The couple also attended Coachella together earlier this year and later the Cannes Film Festival. So even though I don't see too much of a problem with their age gap, I think it's definitely a little strange that Leo almost exclusively dates really young girls. Next in at number 9 we have Woody Allen and his kinda daughter, Soon-Yi. So for the history on this couple, Woody Allen started seeing Mia Farrow in 1980. In total, Farrow has 14 children, 4 biological and the rest adopted, including Soon-Yi, who later became Woody Allen's wife. Soon-Yi was adopted from a Korean orphanage by Farrow and Andre Previn in 1977 when she was approximately 7 years old. Later, Farrow and Allen had a biological son together, Ronan. So this is when things start to get a little creepy. In 1992, after 12 years of being together, Farrow found nude photos of Soon-Yi, who was 21 at the time, in Allen's house. When confronted by Farrow, Allen, then 57, said that he had slept with Soon-Yi for the first time 2 weeks before. Ugh, gross. In August of 1992, Allen released a statement that he was in love with Soon-Yi, and then later in 1997, they got married and have been together ever since. So with this one, the story is a little confusing, which makes the couple's 35-year age difference the least sketchy thing about their relationship. In at number 8, Dane Cook and Kelsey Taylor. So this couple has a 26-year age difference, and the fact that she is only 20 kind of makes it even worse. Dane is 46, by the way. So the couple actually did an Instagram story together to promote a new movie when a fan asked, "What advice do you have to those in an age gap relationship?" Cook replied, "The only thing you have to do is plan that your deaths will be somewhat far apart." Okay, a little dark, but we see where you're going with that. In the same Q&A, he opened up about how the couple met, saying, "We met at a game night I host at my place. We were friends for a while and soon after fell in like with each other and then upgraded to love." Which I guess is fine, but like also why was she at his game night? Like now I want to know the first point of contact for this. In February 2018, Dane actually commented on the relationship on an episode of Jimmy Kimmel. After he mentioned the pair's 26-year age gap during the appearance, he noticed an audible reaction from the audience. And then he said on the show, "Thank you for the snickers of approval. I'm sure that wasn't judgment at all." Yeah, I'm definitely not judging at all, right? Cough, cough. Next up at number 7, Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones. Back in 1996 during the Duval Film Festival, friends introduced Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas to one another. And after that coincidental meeting, the two would later marry in 2000. The pair has a large age gap of 25 years. Even crazier though is that they actually share the same birthday of September 25th. Douglas is 75 while Zeta-Jones is 50, and the pair are still going strong after 19 years of marriage. Douglas and Zeta-Jones have 2 children together. Dylan was born 3 months after the two married in 2000, and Carrie's followed 3 years later. So even though the gap is large for this pair, they still seem to be very much in love and stick together through the good and bad times with each other, which is pretty darn cute. Next at number 6, we have Sarah Paulson and Holland Taylor. So this is another huge age gap, with 32 years in between them. In 2015, rumors started to swirl that American Horror Story's Sarah Paulson was dating Holland Taylor, who I totally remember from Legally Blonde. Paulson later confirmed their relationship in an interview with the New York Times in 2016, stating, "What I can say absolutely is that I am in love, and that person happens to be Holland Taylor." Sarah is 45 and Holland is 77, and apparently the pair actually met through Twitter, with Holland sliding into Sarah's DMs. So honestly, I have nothing but respect for her. She's like 50 years older than me, with like more game than I'll ever have. Halfway through at number 5, we have Mary-Kate Olsen and Olivier Sarkozy. When it comes to French banker Olivier Sarkozy and actress Mary-Kate Olsen, they kept their relationship secret for 2 years before reports emerged that they were engaged in 2014. The pair has a 17-year age gap, with Mary-Kate being 33 and her now husband being 50. According to Harper'sBazaar.com, the two wed in a super small, super secluded wedding ceremony in 2015, where the tables were decorated with bowls full of cigarettes. The crazy thing here is that her sister Ashley is also known for dating older men. Ashley was linked to Richard Sachs a few years back when she was 30 and he was 56. So I guess the taste for older men runs in the family? Or their child star upbringing has made them really mature for their age. I guess who knows. Next, at number 4, we have Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble. So this couple has a 25-year age gap, which is one of the rare ones where the woman is older than the man. Kris, 64, and Corey, 39, have been dating since roughly 2014 after the momager split with longtime spouse Caitlyn Jenner. He's also featured on the show, and it seems like he gets along with pretty much the whole family. But I'm sure it must be odd that he is so close in age with Kris's daughters, as Kourtney's 40 and Kim is 39. But I guess they make it work, and it's nice that Kris can be in a relationship with someone who seems like somewhat normal. Next, at number 3, we have David Foster and Katharine McPhee. David Foster first met his wife Katharine McPhee during season 5 of the show American Idol, where he was a mentor for her while she was on the show. According to Harper'sBazaar.com, the two did not confirm their relationship until their engagement in 2018, which wasn't long after his divorce from model Yolanda Hadid. So this is another one with a really big age gap of 34 years, with David being 75 and Katharine being 35. Something that adds another layer of awkwardness onto this one though is the fact that Katharine is actually younger than a few of his daughters with his first wife. And honestly, like, that would be the line for me. Dating someone when I'm younger than their children is just pretty freaking gross. Next at number 2 is Scott Disick and Sofia Richie. So the age gap on this relationship isn't that big, having 15 years between them. But what kind of makes it gross is the fact that Kendall and Kylie were friends with Sofia while they were all growing up, while Scott was dating long-time on and off girlfriend Kourtney. Scott and Sofia started dating in 2017. Now Scott is 36 years old while Sofia is just 21. Now, although I'm throwing some low-key shade, I do want to say that since they started dating, Scott actually seems to have matured a lot and become a way better person, so she must be really mature for her age, or because she's having a really good impact on him. And finally, taking the number 1 spot, we have Dennis Quaid and Laura Savoy. This 65-year-old actor announced his engagement to Laura Savoy, who is 26 in late October, after only 4 months of dating. But it was the couple's 39-year age difference that got people talking. Quaid claims that he isn't affected by all the talk about their age gap, saying, "I didn't go out looking for an age gap or someone much younger than me," he added. "I met her at a business event and then the relationship developed. I don't fall in love easily, but I can't let what few people think control all that." Quaid's engagement not only incited some responses from the public, but it actually included a few from 2 of his ex-fiancées. Actress Leah Thompson highlighted the age gap by tweeting, "Savoy was -10 when I was engaged to him." Honestly, when you think about it like that, it's really gross. Then Elaine Hendricks kept things playful, writing, "Watch out for those twins," referring to long-lost identical sisters in the film who were both played by Lindsay Lohan, because she was in the film Parent Trap with him. So yeah, this is honestly a little gross. Like, 39 years is a lot. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
Number 10, Taylor Swift and Harry Styles. There's no way they were real. I mean, these two were photographed together in December of 2012, broke up the next month in January of 2013, and then in October of 2014, about a year and a half after the breakup, Swift wrote approximately 3 songs about Styles, which, you know, she's known to do. You know, right, about ex-boyfriends? Oddly enough, her album 1989 also came out the same year One Direction went on a world tour, and the same month that the band released a limited international cinema release, which would be available for home media a month later. It all seemed extremely convenient if you ask me. Number 9, Drake and J-Lo. The two never outright said they were together, but they would post Instagram stories together and never denied they were a thing, even though there was tons of rumors about it. And the stories of them together weren't your typical side-by-side photo. These two were getting close and cuddly. J-Lo also has a thing for younger guys. Drake made it clear he's got a thing for women with curves. It seems like it was a very plausible couple, and people shipped it hard. The two also know how to stay constantly relevant, with Drake being at the top of the rap game for at least the last decade, and J-Lo being consistently in the spotlight for, I mean, as long as I can remember. Again, them staying quiet about the rumors led many to believe they're a thing. Then they made music together. And then nothing really happened. Number 8, we got Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens. The two played love interests in the High School Musical franchise. Like a ton of couples, when you spend time working together on a movie set, more specifically playing a love interest, it's very possible real feelings will emerge. And that seemed to be the case with Efron and Hudgens. The funny thing about their relationship is it seemed to end around the same time Troy and Gabriella's did, right after the 3rd movie. And that seems to be a little too good to be true. Or at least too coincidental. I'm calling bullshit on that one, guys. And let me just say, I don't know, I didn't see High School Musical 3, so I don't know if they actually break up in the movie, but I'm saying, like, that was the last film, so like they don't exist anymore. They're fictionally dead. Number 7, Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna. So this definitely won't be the last Kardashian you see on this list. Some of you may not even know who Rob is, and that's why he's on this list. He's the only brother of the Kardashians, and I'm sure you've heard of Kim, Kourtney, Khloe, Kendall, and Kylie, but Rob? Who's Rob? His name doesn't even start with a K. And that's why he staged this relationship with Blac Chyna. So the story here is apparently Rob was living off of an allowance from Khloe and was freaking out at his sisters, like all the time. Maybe he was jealous. Either way, he ended up dating Blac Chyna, who's the mother of Tyga's kid, and let's not forget Tyga was dating Kylie for a good while. So Rob had a kid with the mother of his sister's boyfriend. That was confusing, but it made sense. And of course, their rocky relationship led to their names being put all over the tabloids and a reality series of their own. Yay, Rob, you finally did it! Just took a shitty relationship and a kid, and only lasted 7 episodes. Damn. Number 6, Taylor Swift and Tom Hiddleston. Apparently this was the real deal, but I mean, if you love someone, do you really have to wear a shirt that has the letter I, a heart emoji, and their initials? I think a ring would do, bud. Following the breakup, Hiddleston told GQ straight up that he was heartbroken and that he doesn't really care what people say. But the facts don't lie, guys. Taylor and Calvin Harris break up, and then 2 weeks later, she's seen kissing Tommy Boy. That was a quick rebound. Of course, Tom met Taylor's parents about a week later with the paparazzi there to catch it all. Let's not forget, they've been dating legitimately a week. Then Taylor meets Tom's parents the next week. Then they go on a Euro trip before Tom goes off to film Thor. And then all hell breaks loose. Tom and Taylor break up in September of 2016. Both devastated, even though they were dating for maybe 4 months, if that. And what do you know? Taylor releases an album a year and a bit later. Very similar to the Harry situation. Highly publicized romance, breakup, album the next year. I don't know about you guys. But wait, didn't Thor Ragnarok release the same month as Taylor's album Reputation? Oh, that must be one big old coincidence. No relation at all. Number 5, Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson. These two were lovebirds in the Twilight series, which was a huge hit. They played a love interest like Zac and Vanessa, who were previously on this list, and the fans loved it. Then Kristen cheated on Rob, so they broke up. What a shame. I don't know. But all was good when the final Twilight movie came out. They started dating again. Yay. But then after, they broke up again. And Kristen Stewart started dating a girl. And then Rob got engaged a few months later to someone else. And then when speaking on the relationship, Kristen told the New York Times, "People wanted me and Rob to be together so badly that our relationship was made into a product. It wasn't real life anymore." And that was gross to me. Although she never claimed to be fake, I got a hard time believing it was true love. Especially since, you know, Rob got engaged a few months later. Kristen was dating a girl. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. It's fake. Number 4, we got Kim Kardashian and Kris Humphries. I mean, they literally got married for like 72 hours. It was aired on television. And although Khloe said it was totally legit, how do you marry someone for 3 days then call it quits? Although in the Players Tribune, Kris said it was totally legitimate, it seems this was just content for the TV show. Kim's been happily married to Kanye and has a handful of kids with the guy. That seems to be working out just fine. So what is Kanye offering that Kris couldn't? Some Yeezys? I'm kidding. I mean, I just have a hard time getting behind this, because if you genuinely love someone and want to be with them, why air not only the marriage but the breakup on TV for views as well? I'm gonna say for fame. Or money. Or both. Number 3, Kaley Cuoco and Henry Cavill. In 2013, the two stepped out into the public eye and the timing was impeccable. Cavill was a new action star, Cuoco was and still is one of the highest paid women on TV. But Cavill needed some more buzz surrounding his life to help boost his image around the time Man of Steel was coming out. He was a pretty low-key guy, so why not date one of the biggest TV stars in the world? Cuoco also needed a way to break out from just being the hot blonde on The Big Bang Theory, so date the next Superman. It was later revealed they were actually represented by the same PR firm, and although the relationship didn't last too long, it certainly got the people talking and did the trick. Number 2, Steve-O and Nicole Richie. I mean, Steve-O flat out said it was all bullshit. Back in 2006, when Nicole Richie and Paris Hilton were taking over TV screens with their hit series The Simple Life, Steve-O was lighting up the big and small screens with his crazy stunts, being part of the Jackass crew. Clearly these two are wild cases, so why not put them together to make one of the most insanely wild couples of all time? It seemed great, but it didn't last very long, and unlike all the other fake couples we've seen throughout the years, Steve-O actually admitted it was all fake. He told Howard Stern, "I was being so careful not to offend her in any way because I wanted to be in those tabloid magazines. I loved it. She said I just broke off an engagement, and the truth is, she wanted some publicity for something other than being skinny. It was a big publicity stunt. She would come pick me up. I don't drive. I think she called the paparazzi too." These mother effers were coming from all directions. I'm even giving interviews to the video paparazzi, and I thought this is the kind of scrutiny I want to be under. I want to be in the tabloids. Well, you heard it from the man himself. In at number 1, we got Tom and Katie. That's right, Tom Cruise, Katie Holmes. This relationship pretty much set the standard for absurd Hollywood couples. There were tons of rumors that Tom was possibly gay, so what better way to shut those rumors down than getting together with a fellow Hollywood star? After it was clear the two were together, Tom appeared on Oprah and literally lost his mind declaring his love for Katie. He jumped on the couch and kept laughing and running around. Guy looked like he was off his rocker. Of course, this relationship came after an 11-year marriage with Nicole Kidman, and only a month after the two were officially together. Then Holmes said she's converting to Scientology just 2 months after getting into a relationship with Tom. And then 3 days later, the couple gets engaged. This is all moving super quickly if you ask me. And what happens just 4 months later? They're expecting a child. And a year after they first started dating, they have a child, they're engaged, and Holmes converts to Scientology. Well, that's pretty wild if you ask me. They're still in love for a few years, and then June 2012, Holmes files for divorce, citing concern over her daughter's future. Seeing this relationship unfold in the tabloids, it honestly seemed like a TV show. There's no way it could be real. Although crews seem to be shook by the blindsided divorce, it seemed to be more of a business transaction than anything else.
And at number 10, Gigi Hadid and Zayn Malik. These two went through probably the messiest celebrity breakup in history. These two first got together in 2016 and have been on and off ever since. They gave birth to their daughter Kai in 2020, and it seemed this would be the thing to keep them together for life. But after Zayn's recent altercation with Yolanda Hadid, Gigi's mother, the two have split again. A source exclusively told Us Weekly that, quote, "It's much better that they have separated." According to the insider, Gigi and Zayn had a very destructive relationship when they were together romantically. And according to this lawsuit, Zayn, quote, "shoved Yolanda into a dresser, causing mental anguish and physical pain after calling Yolanda, quote, an effing Dutch s**." At the time of the altercation, Gigi was not home, but she came back immediately from Paris Fashion Week. Zayn pled no contest to the charges, but later said in a statement he adamantly denied Yolanda's claims. Now the pair have split and are fighting for custody. Also, make sure to give this video a like if you're liking it so far. And at number 9, Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt. These two were the it couple in the early 2000s because they were both beloved A-listers. But after their marriage, they weren't seen out much together, and rumors started to spread that there was tension in the marriage because Brad wanted kids and Jen did not. Then things went downhill when Brad was cast in Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Angelina Jolie. Shortly after the steamy movie was released, Jen and Brad broke up, and the whole world was convinced that he cheated. Shortly after, Brad and Angelina officially got together and started a messy relationship of their own. Then years later, after Brad and Angelina split, dating rumors between Jen and Brad started to swirl again, but they both said they have no romantic feelings for one another anymore. And at number 8, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. These two fell in love on the set of the 2002 movie Daredevil. At the time, Ben was still with Jennifer Lopez while Garner was married to Scott Foley. But in 2003, Garner got a divorce, and in 2004, Affleck split from J-Lo. The couple then got engaged in April 2005 and married in June, while Jen was 4 months pregnant with their first child. They have 3 children together, Samuel, Violet, and Sarfina Rose. But in 2015, the pair split after reports that Ben cheated with their nanny, which he denies. The pair now co-parent their kids and have moved on with other people. And at number 7, Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens. If you're about my age, you definitely remember the release of High School Musical and the love story between its stars Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens. The pair met as teenagers on the set of the 2005 Disney Channel movie. The movie was a smash hit and made them both incredibly famous. It also brought them closer together and formed a bond that turned into romance. For a while they seemed like the perfect pair, but then they broke up in 2010. Apparently Hudgens cites Efron's attention from female fans as a big part of the reason. For some time fans romanticized the idea of them getting back together, but she exposed in 2015 that they didn't speak at all. Now they're both moved on and have been in long-term relationships with other partners. And at number 6, Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey. This is probably one of my favorite relationships of all time because of how unlikely of a pairing that they seem. But unfortunately, their love did not last. They met in 2005 and began dating seriously in 2008. They were so smitten with each other that they only dated for 2 months before getting married. The couple then had twins, Monroe and Moroccan, in 2011, but went through a nasty divorce in 2014. Following their split, the pair have developed a good relationship and mainly speak well about each other in the press. Cannon said that after he split with Mariah, he doesn't intend to get married again. Halfway number 5, Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. If you know anything about this relationship, you know that it's messy. These two got together as teens in 2009 and they had a sweet relationship. The pair finally confirmed it in 2010, but in 2012, they had split. This is when they turned insanely on and off. They would break up, then be seen out kissing only days later. The Jelena fandom was very confused, and in between their splits, Justin was linked to other women like Hailey Baldwin and Sophia Richie. Selena also dated The Weeknd for a brief time, and the pair even attended the Met Gala together, which made it clear Selena and Justin were done for good. But that was not the case. After Abel and Selena broke up, she was seen out with Justin days later. Now Justin is happily married to Hailey Baldwin, but fans are convinced that Selena is still the one for Justin. In at number 4, Kourtney Kardashian and Scott Disick. If you watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians from the beginning, then you know all about this messy relationship. Kourtney and Scott had a long-term relationship that was on and off for years, and in those years the pair welcomed 3 kids together. They met in 2006, through mutual friends and began dating. But the public was introduced to them in 2008 on their show. It was clear in the beginning that he was immature and wanted to party, while Kourtney wanted to settle down and take care of the kids. Scott was also accused of cheating on Kourtney numerous times. The pair were broken up in 2009 when Kourtney got pregnant, but they got back together for the sake of their child. The pair split again in 2010 due to Scott's addiction issues, but in 2011 they were back together and Kourtney gave birth to their second child, Penelope. She then gave birth to their third child, Reign, in 2014. The pair are officially done as of now, but it seems that Scott is holding out hope that Kourtney will change her mind. But with a recent engagement to Travis Barker, it doesn't seem like she will. In at number 3, Fergie and Josh Duhamel. This unlikely pairing seemed like they were going to go the distance, but sadly that was not the case. After 8 years of marriage, the couple confirmed their separation in 2017. In a joint statement, they said, quote, "With absolute love and respect, we decided to separate as a couple earlier this year. To give our family the best opportunity to adjust, we wanted to keep this a private matter before sharing it with the public. We are and always will be united in our support of each other and our family." The pair also said that they are doing everything possible to make the transition smooth for their son. They never said why they split, but it was rumored that Josh may have cheated. In an interview following their split, Josh said he was hoping to have more kids soon and wanted to be with a younger woman to make that happen. In at number 2, Nick Lachey and Jessica Simpson. This pair met at the Hollywood Christmas Parade in 1998, dated, broke up, reunited, and got married in October of 2002. And they were the first celebrity couple to share their love with the public in the form of a reality TV show titled Newlyweds Nick and Jessica. But the relationship did not last long and they split in 2005. Simpson filed for divorce in 2005 and it was finalized in 2006. Apparently the reason for the split was due in part to their young age, the show itself, and the fact that Jessica got incredibly famous during their marriage. Nick Lachey then married Vanessa Lachey in July of 2011 and the couple now has 3 children. Simpson had a few high-profile relationships, then married Eric Johnson in 2014. They currently have 2 children. Jessica actually just released a memoir on their time together, and to be honest, it didn't make Nick look that good. And finally, number 1, Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes. This relationship is really strange, and the breakup was even more odd. This relationship is still one that leaves people scratching their heads to this day, and some even think the entire marriage was an arranged marriage for the Church of Scientology. When the couple first got together, they were called Tomcat, and they were the darling of the media. The pair also made sure everyone knew how in love that they were, like when Tom jumped on Oprah's couch in 2005. Cruise and Holmes made their first red carpet debut as a couple in April 2005, and Cruise proposed in June of that year. They got pregnant shortly after and gave birth to Suri in 2006. Then after years of a quiet marriage, they announced their divorce in June of 2012. Rumors swirled that Scientology was to blame. It was also believed that Holmes wanted to protect Suri from Scientology. But we may never know.